2NURFM News for our sponsor, Tile Warehouse Warners Bay. Open 7 days for your convenience.
It's 2 o'clock. Good afternoon. I'm Jorja Cowan with 2NURFM Hunter News. The Baird government's poles and wires bill could be passed through the New South Wales Upper House as early as next week. Shadow Minister for the Hunter, Jody Harrison, believes while costs are an issue for families and businesses, the safety of privatised poles and lines is also a concern.
The 2009 Royal Commission into the Victorian bushfires actually found that some of the fires were started by lack of maintenance to the poles and wires network. We don't want that to happen in New South Wales.
New figures show Newcastle buses are earning $1 million less than they were in 2007. This follows information 163,000 fewer trips were taken on Newcastle buses and ferries in the second half of 2014 compared to the same time in 2013. Transport spokesperson and Greens MP Dr Marine Faruqi says it's a sign the government needs to change its approach to public transport.
And the government must look at this data and must look at seriously investing in improving the reliability and frequency of bus services.
Meanwhile, Wallsend MP Sonia Hornery agrees, saying Hunter residents will continue to use their cars until public transport is made a more attractive option.
We're still going to see people driving because really the state government hasn't provided the incentives in the Hunter to catch public transport yet, and they need to start very soon.
The New South Wales Rural Fire Service has had to alter its hazard reduction plans, with backburning not able to take place across much of the waterlogged Hunter region. RFS Community Safety Officer Bert Pippin says the new approach will still get the job done.
We're still looking to alleviate those extreme conditions in the urban interface where we've got the hazard reductions planned for. So hopefully with the window of opportunity we should be able to meet our obligations.
Hunter Local Land Services is calling for nominations for this year's New South Wales Land Care Awards. Awards will be given out in 9 categories, including Individual Land Carer, Innovation in Sustainable Farm Practices, Indigenous Land Management and Young Land Care Leader. General Manager Brett Miners says local land groups should get involved.
It's important the work that you do that individuals and groups get that recognition, and also really importantly that others get to see and get inspired and encouraged by the work of others. And if anyone wants some assistance in nominating their own group or somebody else, if they could call Hunter Local Land Services. The Land Care Awards are online, so if they can go to the website of Hunter Local Land Services, they can find the details there.
Spears Point foreshore will be filled with volunteers this Sunday as part of Lake Macquarie City Council's community cleanup. The cleanup is hosted by the Ocean and Coastal Care Initiatives and Council's Eco Angel program, which was designed to encourage people to get involved in keeping the city clean all year round. Secretary of OCCI Ingrid Berthold says the cleanup benefits everyone.
The opportunity for the community to participate in reducing the amount of plastics and litter that ends up in our coasts and our oceans, which has obviously serious impacts on wildlife and other animals as well. So you're basically contributing to not only cleaning up your local neighbourhood, but also the oceans across the world.
The Hunter Valley town of Dungog, which was devastated by April's monster storm, is kicking off its annual music festival today. The Planet Dungog Music Festival will be held from today till this Sunday, with 50 acts across 8 venues, including music, street art, dance, spoken word, comedy and film. Organiser Diane Pope says some of the profits will be going back to the community.
We really are driven by people who volunteer their time. And this year, because of the events in Dungog a month ago, which has shaken the town to its core really, we have decided to donate 50% of our profits to those people who were affected by the flood.
In finance, the All Odds is up 74.4 points at 57.89 and 1 Australian dollar is buying 76.61 US cents.
Sport for our sponsor, newcastlecheapestcars.com.au.
Newcastle Jets players are reportedly out of pocket up to $25,000 in holiday pay, long service leave and termination pay alone. Local junior Ben Kennedy was said to be unaware of the $23,000 he's owed in entitlements, chalking the amount up to unpaid superannuation. Collectively, Jets employees are all owed almost $800,000 in super. With a number of players ruled out to injury, the Newcastle Knights will be up against the odds when they face the New Zealand Warriors this Sunday. It's been hinted coach Rick Stone could be making some last-minute changes to the side before the match in a bid to turn the season around. The Red and Blue will hit the field without enforcer Bo Scott and captain Kurt Gidley. And in ice hockey, the Newcastle North Stars are looking to bounce back from last week's disappointing loss when they took on the Sydney Bears tomorrow night. That's sport. I'm Thandi Chindoe.
2NURFM News Time is 2:05.